live in the middle of my father's farm. Like we have like an acre, and we're surrounded by my dad's farm. So there's like a barn, and there's a pond out there, and we have this little house dog. She's like 5 pounds. Kind of her hair's getting long now, and she just ended up going down to the pond with me and my dad because he's going to feed the catfish on the pond, in the pond, because they're not on the pond. And anyway, I have this video seminar that I'm kind of coming back to, and I look down on the floor and I realize, hey, Susie just got a bunch of Cuckle Burrs while she was at the pond. And it wasn't just a few Cuckle Burrs, it was like a bunch of Cuckle Burrs. Here they are right here. But that's only like a third of them. I haven't gotten them all out yet. And while I was in the seminar, I realized she was getting a lot of them out herself. She probably got about 10 of them out by herself. But there came a point where she just gave up, and she was just like laying at my feet, just kind of, hey, I can't do this anymore. And so I picked her up. And when I picked her up, she was just in this state of relaxation. She was kind of like looking at me like, please, sir, will you take my Cuckle Burrs out? And so I just started to kind of gently take her Cuckle Burrs out. And as she looked at me, I could just tell that she was just so thankful. And, occasionally she kind of bite at my hands if I pulled too hard on her hair or something. But she was just submitting herself to the process because, as many of us know, dogs don't have opposable thumbs. So she was relying on me because of a greater skill that I possess, I guess. And she was in my lap for like 30 minutes or so. But finally she kind of got kind of agitated because some of them were kind of deep in there. So finally she just jumped back down and she started trying to do it herself. And so anyway, just thought it's kind of interesting because oftentimes we really try to do things that we really are incapable of doing ourselves. But nonetheless, we give it our best shot. We had another dog named Max that died earlier this year. And Max was an outside dog on the farm and had long hair, and he would get so many Cuckle Burrs, we would just give up and we would not get them until winter was over, and then we would just shave him down to get him off. And he was probably a miserable dog, and it was probably a very cruel thing to do. But yet, at the end of the winter, the only choice we had was to get him totally shaved, and that was the only way to get rid of his Cuckle Burrs. And so, and that was a very humiliating experience for Max because he didn't like not having hair, because he looked like he was a 100-pound dog, but he was really a 30-pound dog. And so he felt much smaller after that. Very, very humiliating for Max. But that's something that I think we can just kind of make a spiritual application there, that there are some things that only God can do. And really the only thing that we can do to have those things getting taken out of the way of our life is just to surrender to Him and to hand it over to Him. In some mysterious way, God allows us to spiritually hand things over to Him. I know I just want to encourage you guys, if you're trying to get all these Cuckle Burrs out of your fur without opposable thumbs, to let God, do something in your life that you can't do. And really, I think that comes to humbling yourself before Him and just really tell Him that you've had enough, and that you're going to stop trying to conquer these problems on your own, and you're going to let Him do the work. And how does He do the work? That's a big mystery, but it starts with some type of surrender in our spirit. So anyway, I hope that thought is good, and I hope it means something to you, because it meant something to me just in this moment.